There is a category of buyer that luxury brands have studied for decades. They do not appear in the brand's official customer persona. They are not invited to the private sales events. They are not the ones the brand is designing for. And yet, they are often the most psychologically loyal customer in the entire market. The brand calls them aspirational buyers. What it has never said publicly is this: the aspiration was not accidental. It was engineered. Every major luxury brand operates on a paradox. They price their products to exclude the majority of their buyers, and they market their products to exactly that majority. This is not a contradiction. It is the product. The desire of people who cannot easily afford something is the raw material the brand is selling to the people who can. When you carry that bag, you are not buying leather and stitching. You are buying what the brand has convinced an entire market that bag means. And the brand built that meaning by selling it to the people who have to stretch to get there. There's a concept in consumer psychology called identity-based consumption. The core insight is this: humans do not buy products. They buy membership in a perceived identity group. The question every buyer is unconsciously answering is not, "Is this worth the price?" The question is, does owning this confirm who I believe I am or who I am trying to become? For the aspirational buyer, the luxury item is not a reward. It is an argument made to everyone they pass on the street, an argument made to everyone at the dinner table, an argument made to themselves at 2 a.m. when the question of whether they are becoming the person they are supposed to be does not have a clean answer. Now, here is where the engineering becomes precise. Because the luxury brand has a problem. If the aspiration is the product, genuine scarcity would destroy the business. You cannot sell exclusivity to millions of aspirational buyers if exclusivity is real. So the brand creates the architecture of scarcity without the reality of it. The waitlist for a Birkin bag is not a supply constraint. It is a psychological tool, a deliberate friction that converts a product into a rite of passage. The buyer who gets through the waitlist does not just own the bag, they own the story of having earned it. And that story is worth more than the bag, because it cannot be replicated by simply paying more. This matters beyond handbags, because the same mechanism is running in B2B purchasing. The founder who buys the enterprise software that their peers are using is not always buying capability. They are buying the identity signal that they are the kind of company that uses that software. The marketing leader who selects the most expensive agency is not always buying the best work. They are buying the protection that comes from choosing a name nobody can question. The mechanism has the same name in every market: aspirational projection bias. The buyer is not evaluating the product. They are evaluating who they will appear to be after choosing it. If you sell something, this matters to you directly. The question your buyer is answering is not the question you think you are answering. You believe the buyer is evaluating features, price, proof. The buyer is evaluating the identity consequence of choosing you. Will choosing you make them look like the kind of person who makes smart decisions? Will it protect them if something goes wrong? Will it confirm in front of their colleagues and their inner voice that they are the person they are trying to be? This is why the best testimonials do not describe outcomes. They describe a person. Since working with brand, I feel like I finally operate at the level I knew I was capable of. That is not a result claim. That is an identity confirmation. And identity confirmation is the most powerful purchase trigger in any market. The uncomfortable truth about the aspiration economy is this: it is not exploiting weakness. It is responding to something real. The desire to become a better version of yourself. The desire to have that confirmed by something visible. The desire to belong to a group defined by something more than accident. These are not pathologies. They are the oldest human needs running through the newest commercial systems. The brands that understand this are not more manipulative than the ones that don't. They are simply more honest about what they are actually selling. The question worth sitting with is not, are buyers being manipulated? The question is, what identity am I selling to my market? And is it one worth buying?